Fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Spot. The heavyweight division is going through a changing of the guard right now. And there's one 20-year-old prospect who looks set to be at the front and center of its future. Ridiculous power, world-class athleticism, and an unmistakable eye for a finish. Let's take a closer look at Moses Itauma.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Moses Itauma!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Born in Slovakia, but raised in England, Moses and his brother Karol Itauma were always destined for the fight game. With an early love of the great Prince Naseem Hamed, this hulking heavyweight surged through an unbeaten run in the amateurs before arriving on the pro scene in early 2023. Coming in at around 6'2" and with a fight weight that generally lands somewhere in the region of 250 pounds. Let's take a dive into his career, fight by fight, and see how the violence unfolds. Marcel Bodie. You don't see many 18-year-olds stepping into the ring looking like Itauma did ahead of his pro debut. Like any rising talent, it's not like he would be getting tough tests straight off the bat, but you could really tell that Marcel Bodie had absolutely no interest in taking too much damage in this fight. Itauma strolled out there without a care in the world and proceeded to hurt Bodie with his very first punch. The second one was enough to put him down, ending the fight in a matter of seconds.
Only on the junior circuit, an amateur, and there you see a two-punch, have a seat shot for Marcel Bodie.
The ref took one look at Bodie and realized that he'd be doing him a disservice if he let him continue. Itauma was simply too much for him. One win down, but trust us, the best is yet to come. Ramon Alberto Ibarra. The height difference is the first thing you'll notice about his clash with second career opponent, Ramon Ibarra. Because let's be real, for as much as Ramon may have packed a decent punch, there was no way he was ever going to find Itauma's chin with a reach disadvantage like that. Him flailing wildly at a skilled opponent like Itauma was pretty much a death sentence for his chances in this fight.
Straight away on that front foot. Oh, what a shot! There he goes. First meaningful punch of the fight, and Ramon Ibarra is flat on his back.
So when Moses finally pulled the trigger, he nearly sent his opponent flying out of the ring. This was a brutal highlight for this rising talent, and the hype train was clearly moving in the right direction. Amin Buseta. If there were any fears over Itauma moving a little too fast for his own good with his rapid knockouts, he actually went the distance in his next two outings, earning invaluable experience for himself. But when he returned to take on his next opponent, he brought back that old fire and intensity. Once he felt out of his rival's range, just look at that beautiful uppercut that sent his target crashing down to the canvas for the first time.
4-0 as a professional, fifth time we've seen him in the ring this year. Oh, left uppercut! Brilliant shot!
To Buseta's credit, he did get back to his feet and give it an honest effort. But you gotta be careful messing around with a fighter like Itauma.
Still 90 seconds in the round to go, and in goes the towel, down goes Buseta. And there is the destructive power of this exciting teenager who gets another stoppage.
Istvan Bernat. By this point in his career, Itauma was really starting to build hype. And so, promoters began to wisely insert him on fight cards featuring huge names. So when he was drafted in to take on Hungarian veteran Istvan Bernat on the Fury Ganao undercard, this was a chance for Moses to shine on the biggest possible stage. This was the biggest test of his career so far, on many different levels, and boy, did he rise to the occasion. This was yet another bulldozing performance from Itauma, and like all of his fights, the first knockdown tended to spell his opponent's doom.
Generates so much power. Very rarely is he off balance. The hand speed evident already. Lovely right jab. Puts down Bernat.
In this case, Bernat also chose to get back to his feet and give one more attempt at a win. Yet again, this proved to be the wrong choice.
Pinpoint punching from Moses Itauma, and
but enough. It seems has had enough, and it's all over. Inside the opening round, it's a fourth win inside the distance.
Enjoying the video? Be sure to let us know in the comments below before subscribing so you don't miss a single upload. Michael Bolash. Short notice replacement? No problem. This was just a minor disruption to Itauma's plans here. And when his team found a new opponent for him, the result was strikingly similar.
Presenting from Chatham, the former unbeaten amateur sensation, the former European and world gold medalist, Moses Itauma!
Moses didn't give him a chance to get comfortable at all. It was a simple case of Itauma bursting out of the gates and setting a pace that his opponent simply could not keep up with. Brutal work. Another quick KO victory to move him to 7-0 as a pro.
That's a great left hook. He's gone. This is going to be a very short night's work indeed, I think.
Slowly, we were seeing this young fighter coming into his own, really becoming a more comfortable technician in the ring.
Trying to find an angle or two. Follows backward in a straight line, inviting the trouble. He's brave, but he's completely outdone. It has to be stopped quickly, and it's stopped very quickly.
Dan Garber.
Let's first welcome to the ring from Bradford, Dan the Reaper Man Garber!
Dan Garber had the misfortune of also being a short notice replacement for Itauma, and it really did show.
Welcome to the ring from Chatham, the rising heavyweight sensation, Moses Itauma!
He ended up being nothing more than a punching bag for the rising prospect, standing there doing his best to avoid getting pot-shotted over and over again. But it really didn't work out for him.
This fight on Monday, some fair play to him. He's had to get it quicker. He's got destructive power.
Itauma was just on fire here, landing practically every shot he threw. The referee was constantly keeping an eye on Garber, unwilling to let him take any more damage than necessary. And in the end, he just decided to call the fight off.
Right hand that caught him flush. There's another one in his own corner, clubbing left. And the referee's having a look again, and he calls it off. Farfate's calls a hold to it. It's another first round stoppage for Moses.
Garber wasn't responding, and it really did look like Itauma was setting him up for something big. Nobody needed to see this one turn into an execution. Ilya Menzenchev. Even when he's not KOing these guys with one punch, you can tell Itauma's shots are having tremendous impact. He just has a way of totally ruining his opponent's balance. And when he took on Ilya Menzenchev, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, massive left hand! And Menzenchev back into the corner, eats a right and another left. He's trying to hold on, but Itauma not letting him.
He doesn't even need to land cleanly to change the fight's momentum in his favor. One of those clubbing shots to the side of the head can really mess with your equilibrium. And here, once the biggest punch of the fight landed, you could see the ref taking a very hard look at the losing fighter, noticing just how much effort he was putting into standing up straight. In the end, he made the correct call for his well-being, ending the fight and giving Moses yet another big moment for his highlight reel. Mariusz Wach. The gradual rise of Itauma saw him tested by a wide range of styles and experience levels, and so far, nobody came close to the resume presented by Mariusz Wach. He's a fighter who's been in there with everyone: Vladimir Klitschko, Alexander Povetkin, Dylan White, Gerald Miller, and more. Sure, he was in his mid-40s when he fought Itauma, but that kind of veteran savvy can be difficult for some fighters to find a way past. But if you haven't noticed by now, Itauma is not like most other fighters. And in there with Wach, though it did take him a little longer than usual, the end result was the same: 10 wins, 8 knockouts. And it was finally time for Moses Itauma to really kick off his surge towards the heavyweight title.
And there's been a look of genuine fear in the eyes of Wach since the start of this fight, and he cannot fend his man off, and the referee is going to stop it, and rightly so. That was taking considerable punishment.
Dempsey McKean. But every prospect eventually needs to take a massive step up in competition, and for Itauma, this came on the undercard to Usyk and Fury 2 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. With the WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title up for grabs, he would take on Dempsey McKean, a fighter with 22 wins and just 1 loss, making him by far and away the most legitimate threat Itauma had ever been in there with. However, just because McKean had a solid record didn't mean he was destined to give Itauma trouble. No, in the biggest fight of his career, Itauma well and truly came alive, destroying his opponent as soon as he felt comfortable opening up.
You might be in trouble.
Massive shot in the opening minute and a half here, and Dempsey McKean takes a very heavy fall.
This was a huge coming out performance for Itauma, introducing him to a brand new audience. The perfect stepping stone for any young prospect into the mainstream eye.
He's trying to get his stance back, but Itauma. That's it. Won't recover from that. Fight's done. Corner in. Itauma.
And that brings us up to date on this titillating title threat. He takes on Mike Balagan on May 24th in his next outing, taking a spot on the undercard to show a headlined by Josh Taylor. But with him now firmly seated in the top 10, just how far do you think this insane prospect will go? Do you think he'll hold a world title, or could he even unify the belts as undisputed king? Let us know your thoughts on Moses Itauma in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our weekly uploads.